At Walia Health, your eye health is our passion. With cutting-edge technology and a team dedicated to your well-being, we're here to ensure your eyesight shines bright. From diagnosing and treating conditions like cataracts and glaucoma to helping you find the perfect pair of glasses or contacts, we've got you covered. Schedule your appointment today at waliahealth.org or give us a call at 320-679-2020. Let's keep those eyes sparkling together.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, and we're here at beautiful Brennan Field in Hinckley, Minnesota for tonight's baseball game between the Mora Blue Devils and the Hinckley Knights here in the Region 1C tournament. As we take a look here, the Blue Devils have their first out as Logan Graves flew out to center field for the first out of the game. So he is out for out number one, and now at the plate is Bryce Norby. He, at the moment, deals with a 1-2 count with one down. Starting pitcher for the Knights this evening is Ben Sickler. That one fouled off of Norby. So the 1-2 pitch on the way from Sickler is going to be outside for ball two. Evens up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down here in the top of the first inning for the Blue Devils. This one is swung on and hit past the infield, and that will be a base hit for Bryce Norby. So 1 down, 1 on here for the Mora Blue Devils. And now Nathan Nelson will step up to the plate for Mora. Behind him, Ryan Van Summeren. First pitch here to Nathan Nelson is in there for strike one. Sickler readies. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one is swung on and popped towards the shortstop. Isaiah Brennan with the grab. Throw to first is not in time. They will say that the runner managed to get back, so the pop out there to shortstop by Nathan Nelson for out number 2, and now Ryan Van Summeren to the plate. Two down here in the top of the first for the Mora Blue Devils. That one swung and foul tipped. So an 0-1 count now for Ryan Van Summeren. He'll take a moment. And he's back to the plate, the left-handed batter's box. He swings and does get another piece of that one, so that's going to make it an 0-2 count now for Ryan Van Summeren. Oh, 2 count. Ben Sickler ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and that one's going to bounce off the plate and foul. So Ben Sickler will head back to the mound. Van Summeren into the left-handed batter's box. That one is inside for ball 1. Sickler with that one. That one's in there, and that's going to get him looking for out number 3. So 1 hit, but no runs come across the board for the Blue Devils. And no errors committed by the Hinckley Knights. So we'll head down to the bottom of the first inning. No score here in Hinckley as part of the Region 1C tournament. As we get set for the Mora Blue Devils to get out onto the mound. Taking a look at how they'll set up in the field. Starting on the mound tonight is Nathan Nelson for the team. Nathan Nelson, a very good multi-sport athlete. But tonight he'll be starting for the Blue Devils. Behind the plate catching for him is Darren Erickson, number 31. Then over at first, wearing number 15, is Austin Peterson. At second, it's number 23, Mike McKee. And at third, it is number 20, Owen Zuka. Then at shortstop, it's number 24, Derek Graves. In the outfield, it's number 38, Dylan Graves in left field. In center, it's number 5, Logan Graves. And in right, it's number 26, Bryce Norby. That is how the Mora Blue Devils will line up. And now we'll get set for the Knights' turn at the plate. Knights will be led off by Trevor Johnson. A little bit of a switch up in the order here this evening, as Trevor Johnson, the catcher, will start off lead off for the Knights. Then behind him, it's Isaiah Brennan and Corey Schmidt. And Isaiah Brennan playing at shortstop tonight. Brennan, not too long ago, had a complete game no-hitter against the Isani Redbirds towards the end of the regular season. A fantastic outing for him. So as Nathan Nelson finishes his warm-up, we'll see Trevor Johnson make his way to the right-handed batter's box here in the bottom of the first. So Johnson steps up to the plate. Bottom of the first. No score. First pitch is just inside for ball one to the leadoff man. Next one is in there, but it's ball two to Trevor Johnson. Inside as well, goes off the top of the catcher's glove for ball three. 3-0 count for the leadoff man, Trevor Johnson. Nathan Nelson with a 3-0. That one nearly got Trevor Johnson, but he ducks out of the way, and that is a leadoff walk for the Hinckley Knights here in the bottom of the first inning. So now it's Isaiah Brennan making his way to the plate. Runner at first, nobody out. Nathan Nelson sets up. And they will pick off the runner at first. They get Trevor Johnson out at first. So he is caught trying to steal, and he'll be out number one. Not so much caught trying to steal, but he's caught leaning off the bag as out number one. So they drew a walk, but they get picked off, and now a strike here to Isaiah Brennan. Warmer night for baseball here at Brennan Field in Hinckley, Minnesota. That one's in there for strike two to Isaiah Brennan. He's down in the count 0-2 quickly. Here's the next pitch, and Brennan swings and misses at one low for out number two. So they got a leadoff walk, but he was picked off, then a strikeout. And now Corey Schmidt to the plate. Two down and nobody on. Again, Trevor Johnson leading off for the Knights, a little bit different for the Knights here this evening. The rest of the lineup pretty much the same. This first pitch to Schmidt is inside for ball one. 1-0 count for Corey Schmidt. Next one's going to be in there for called strike one. Beautiful night out here in Hinckley, Minnesota for tonight's playoff matchup. This one is hit out to center field by Corey Schmidt, and it is caught in center for out number 3. Well, what looked to be promising, but wound up being quick 3 outs. No hits, no runs, and no errors for the Mora Blue Devils. And that will bring us quickly to the end of inning number 1. So the first inning ends without either team making any noise. And we'll head to the top of inning number 2. One thing I want to mention is, Ted Haas, the manager for the Knights, has all year long, well, all season long, I should say, done a absolutely awesome job of taking time out of his busy schedule to take time to do interviews with me during the week. And this week got a little funky for us both. And unfortunately for Mr. Haas, I was unable to get a phone interview with him. Unfortunately, we just had some things that were going on that prevented that from happening, so we had to do it over email, and he was gracious enough to take time to type out those answers to me and tell us a little bit about what's coming up here tonight. But before we do that, we'll get a look at your defensive lineup for the Knights on the mound. As I mentioned before, Ben Sickler, or number 28. Then behind the plate catching is number 3, Trevor Johnson. Over at first at 16, Sean Osmus. Then at second, it's number 29, Corey Schmidt. At third, it is Isaiah Haas, wearing number 21, and then number 15, Isaiah Brennan at short. Out in left, it's 18, Max Sickler. Center is 30, TJ Johnson. And in right, it's number 32, Bryce Hipp. Ben Sickler with the first pitch here. That's in there for strike 1 to Austin Peterson. He'll lead off, the first baseman for the Mora Blue Devils. We'll get a look here at the bracket in just a moment. Peterson gets a piece of that one, fouls it out of play. And that'll make it a quick 0-2 count. So again, if you're just joining us, got here a little bit late, unfortunately. Things come up and did not get here as early as I would have liked to, but we're here and we're happy about it and we're so excited. I don't know about you, but I am excited to watch this one go. Next one is ball 2, so even 2-2 count now for Peterson, the leadoff man. Here's the pitch from Sickler, swung on and hit right at Isaiah Brennan. Catches it on the hop, throw on to first in time for out number 1. One down here in the top of the second inning for the Mora Blue Devils. As now coming to the plate is Derek Graves. And for Graves on the year, if you can see, he's the top person on this list. His batting average .250. He has 9 RBIs on the season as he takes ball 1. Derek Graves, one of the Mora Mustangs baseball players. You might recognize a lot of these names from their high school team of the Mustangs, from their, not only their baseball team, football, wrestling, basketball. These guys do it all. 2-1 count for him. Sickler delivers that one in there, and that's strike 2. Even 2-2 count now for Derek Graves with 1 down. Top of the second. Jay Pautsky, the manager for the Blue Devils. And Graves will look at that one inside. That makes it a full count now. Ben Sickler, a guy who wastes no time in between pitches. That one is swung on and hit up towards center field. Straightaway center, and TJ Johnson is under it. Grabs it for out number 2. Now that, I will say here tonight, may not be the easiest catch early on because of the fact the sun is still out. It is bright. There are basically no clouds in the sky. So to look up and grab that one is not easy for TJ Johnson, but he does a great job of doing so. Darren Erickson now at the plate. And that one is called ball 1 to him. Take a look at Darren Erickson, as after we will not get this pitch. So a 1-0, but for Erickson on the year, batting .200. That one's in there for strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. As I mentioned, batting .200. He does have 8. Am I seeing that right? No, 1 RBI, excuse me. That one is swung on to straightaway center once again. And it is deep. It is going to one-hop the wall. And Erickson will have a stand-up 2-out double. Well, he got one he liked there and sent it to center. TJ Johnson, he got a good read on it, but that one just beat him. Not his fault really either, because that was just a good hit there by Darren Erickson. Beautiful hit. And now coming to the plate is going to be Mike McKee, excuse me. So McKee coming to the plate. Runner at second, 2 down. Sickler readies. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 1 to Mike McKee. McKee wearing the number 23 here tonight. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's in there for strike 2. So Mike McKee on the year, he has 6 RBIs and is batting .200 as well. Next pitch to him is low for ball 1. A good eye there from Mike McKee. 1 ball, 2 strikes, excuse me. Top of the second, 2 down, runner at second. Sickler readies. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's in there for strike 3 anyways. For out number 3. So again, the 1 hit, no runs, and 0 errors committed by Hinckley in the top of the second. And that will push us down to the bottom of inning number 2. Knights and Blue Devils going at it here in this one. The bracket here coming up just shortly as I get everything set. There we go. So now we'll take a look at the bracket here for the region. You might be able to see, that might be a little bit tiny for you, but I'll try and expand it here so you can see the top of the bracket. There it is. So you can see Mora was able to defeat Rum River 5-2. That's how they got here, and Hinckley beat Ogilvie 5-0. Tomorrow, the first game begins at noon. It'll see Isani playing Quamba. Isani beat Bram 15-0. Quamba beat North Branch 7-3. Then it continues tomorrow at 3 p.m. with North Branch playing the loser of this game, I believe. Yes, it will be. So North Branch will play at 3 p.m. tomorrow here in Hinckley, and will play the loser of Hinckley versus Mora. Then the final game tomorrow will be at 6 p.m., and we'll take on the winner of Isani and Quamba. So tonight, this is the only game here in Hinckley. But tomorrow, you've got 3 games, starting with Isani versus Quamba. Then North Branch taking on the loser of this game, and then Rum River will take on the loser of Isani versus Quamba. So that is how the bracket looks right now, at least on the, the east side, west side of it? I think this is the west side, or east side, excuse me. Remember, this used to be 3 different divisions, now only 2 this year in the Eastern Mini League. And now coming to the plate to lead off for the Hinckley Knights, number 21, the third baseman, Isaiah Haas. So it goes north and south. I knew that. East, west. I was getting confused. Nope, north, south. It felt wrong when I said it anyways. Either way, a big swing and a miss here by Isaiah Haas for 0-1. And now Nathan Nelson gets this one. And that one's going to hop over the second baseman. It'll be a base hit for Isaiah Haas to lead it off. So that's a way to lead off if you're the Knights. Isaiah Haas, a base hit. And now coming to the plate will be number 30, TJ Johnson, the center fielder. Blue Devils wearing their blue jerseys. The white letters and numbers outlined in the black. Pitch is on the way, and there's strike 1 to TJ Johnson. The white pants for Mora as well, the blue hats, the white logo on the hat. White stripes on the sides of the jersey as well. 0-1 pitch from Nathan Nelson on the way. TJ Johnson showing bunt, pulls back in time for a ball call on that pitch, 1-1. Hinckley Knights wearing their green jerseys, the 3 stripes on the sleeve, the 2 white ones, and the middle one is yellow. The letters and numbers white outlined in the yellow, the white pants, and the green hat with the yellow H logo on the cap as well. Late swing and miss on that one from TJ Johnson, he got a piece of that one. Fouled it off. It just went so quickly I couldn't even see it. So 1 ball, 2 strikes for TJ Johnson. Runner at first is the leadoff man, Isaiah Haas. They'll check the runner at first. Now, he got an out that way in the first inning. it was Trevor Johnson who was caught leaning, and they picked him off. Trying to do it there, but not so successful this time. Nathan Nelson. Ooh, swing and a miss from TJ Johnson, one outside. I think he was expecting something a little bit more over the plate with that swing. But that one went a little bit outside, and that's a strikeout for out number 1. And now Sean Osmus will come to the plate. He had a stretch of a few games, at least that I was able to be at, where he was just on fire. Had a couple of extra base hits, a plethora of RBIs, even a stolen base or two in there, plus some runs scored. It was a phenomenal run for him, and they're going to say Sean Osmus went on that one. Yeah, he tried to hold up, just couldn't do it in time, so for strike 1. This should be a fun one here in this game between the Knights and Blue Devils. These two teams, rivals, and Sean Osmus gets this one deep to left field. Could that be? It is, and it's a home run for Sean Osmus. Sean Osmus with the home run trot going. A 2-run shot over the left field wall for Sean Osmus. What a hit. Sean Osmus with the absolute bomb to left field. We'll have to take a look at the replay on that one in just a moment, but a 2-run homer for him. Now, they say 2-0 game, just as I say, it's going to be, I was thinking to myself, it's going to be a lower scoring game, but Sean Osmus changes it with one swing. Meanwhile, Bryce Hipp comes to the plate. He now deals with a 1-1 count as we fawned over the Osmus home run. That one's on the outside part of the plate for strike 2 to Bryce Hipp. Yep, that's not one he wanted, and he waits looking for a better one, but Nathan Nelson, although a young pitcher, a very talented pitcher as well. Yep, late decision. He holds back. That one in the dirt. Ball 2. 2-2 count for Bryce Hipp. 1 down. Nobody on because of the Osmus home run. And Hipp has to reach for that one. It was in the zone. Can't take it because it's a strike anyway, so he had to swing, and it goes right back to the pitcher for out number 2. And now Brady Johnson, the designated hitter, steps into the left-handed batter's box. Of course, he's DHing for the pitcher, Ben Sickler, today. I am late on changing the score. Don't worry, I'll change it. There you go, 2-0. Right as that pitch is in there for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes to Brady Johnson. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Nathan Nelson with the pitch. Swing and a miss. That one was fired in there by Nelson for strike 1. Brady Johnson got a piece of that one and fouls it down the first base line. Not the only Nelson on the team, as is rarely the case when you have a Nelson for Mora. Usually there's 2, 3, 4 of them to a team, whether it's football, basketball, wrestling, baseball. And that is the case here. Of course, you got Nathan Nelson out there. Mason Nelson is also part of this team, as well as Aaron Nelson, part of the team. A 2-2 count now for Brady Johnson. With 2 down, nobody on. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Nelson. And Johnson gets a piece of it. Back, and it's going to go foul out of play. You can see, maybe you were able to see, maybe you weren't because of the shadow and the lighting difference, but as Nathan Nelson got that ball from the umpire, he had to put the hand in front of his hat just because the sun is beating down on these players. So no matter where you're fielding tonight, not going to be easy. This one is swung on and hit out towards left, and it's going to get down. Derek Graves, he was running after it, but I think he lost it and then may have found a grass monster out there. A lot of times you get turned around like that, you wind up tripping almost over yourself, but it is a single there for Brady Johnson. So 2 down and a runner on. And the Knights have been known to get hot with 2 outs. Let's see if they can do that here with Max Sickler at the plate. He was an RBI machine for a few games. I mean, he's been very good with RBIs the whole season for the Knights, but I mean, the stretch of games that I'm talking about, man, he went off. I think he had 8 or 9 in 2-3 games, something like that. That one's in there for strike 2 as well. I mean, he had a phenomenal stretch of games. As he has an 0-2 count. Nathan Nelson readies. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Oh, inside, nearly got him, but Max Sickler spins out of the way. And yeah, so for Max Sickler, 17 RBIs, 38 for Corey Schmidt. I believe that does include playoff stats as well. That one's going to be ball 2 on outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Max Sickler, 2 down, runner at first. Nelson with the 2-2. That got him. So Max Sickler is hit by the pitch. You could just tell that one had a little bit of different sound to it when it got into the mitt of the catcher. So now you'll have runners at first and second with Trevor Johnson coming to the plate. He drew a walk in his first plate appearance last inning and then was picked off. He got caught leaning. Bottom of the second. Nathan Nelson readies. And here's the pitch. Right down the middle, but that one is hit out towards right field. That beats the right fielder. That's going to score 1. And that will probably score 2 with Max Sickler rounding third. There could be a play at the plate. There will not be. And it's a 2-run double for Trevor Johnson. So that will make it a 4-0 game for the Knights. Off that RBI from Trevor Johnson. Now Isaiah Brennan at the plate. Struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. He'll look at that one for strike 1. Nathan Nelson, as I mentioned before, very good pitcher. And on the year, he has pitched 26 innings for the Blue Devils. That one's in there for strike 2. 26 innings, has an ERA of 3.46 and 30 strikeouts. One of the better ERA-wise pitchers for the Blue Devils. A big swing and a miss there by Max Sickler. That'll be his second strikeout and the third out of the inning, but not until the Knights do some damage. They get 3 hits, 4 runs. Excuse me, 4 hits. So 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors by the Blue Devils. And the Knights take a 4-0 lead as we now move forward to the top of inning number 3. And we've seen the Knights be able to score early and often in games throughout the season. And in playoffs, that changed a little bit against the Ogilvie Orioles, but here in this one, they get off to a good start. So last time we showed you the regional tournament here, and now we'll get set to show you the pitching stats for the Knights as Ben Sickler's thrown the most innings, 57 innings for the Knights. He has an ERA of 1.58, just an insane ERA. 6 wins, 2 losses. He has 66 strikeouts to lead the team. He's only allowed 14 runs and 10 earned runs on the year. That is for Ben Sickler, at the top of that list there, the number 28. One thing I love about Ben Sickler is his pitching style, the way he, in between pitches, we've counted it before, it takes about 3 seconds in between pitches, unless there's someone on base. Then it changes to about 5, but it does not take long in between pitches for Ben Sickler. So Dylan Graves will lead off for the Mora Blue Devils as he looks at one outside for ball 1. That one's in there for strike 1. And I would pull up the batting stats for Dylan Graves. We will real quick just because we have a moment. That one going to be ball 2. So So Dylan Graves on the year. He has 2 RBIs and batting 176. As he now has a 2-1 count. Number 9 batter. That one's in there for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Beautiful movement late on that pitch from Ben Sickler. Two on the way. Got a piece of it, and that's going to get over Corey Schmidt at second for a base hit for Dylan Graves. So a leadoff single now, and we'll move back to the top of the order for Logan Graves. Logan Graves, where's the number trace or 3? My Spanish was completely unclear. Excuse me, it's not 3, it's cinco. 5. 301 batting average and 9 RBIs for Logan Graves as he attempts a bunt. That goes foul off the third base line. Sickler readies, and here's the 0-1 pitch. That's outside and stays outside for ball 1. The standings, how they finished. Blue Devils finished in 3rd behind the Panthers and Knights in the Eastern Mini North Division. That one's inside, nearly got him, but he gets out of the way. And they have the second best record in the league with 11-4 did the Mora Blue Devils. This one swung on. It's a double play ball. Corey Schmidt will tag the runner going to second and get the runner out at first. What a smart play there by Corey Schmidt, making the play on the runner at second and then getting the runner out on the throw to first. So 2 down now after that double play. And now coming to the plate is number 26, Bryce Norby. Hit a single in the first, and that one's going to be lined down the third base line. It goes, oh, excuse me, that's the first base line. Sorry, everybody. Got here late. I'm thrown off, but that's the first base line, and then into right field, but that it does travel foul for Bryce Norby. Bryce Norby wears the number 26, and he has 7 RBIs, batting .289 on the year, and he swings, and that one's going to go back foul out of play. Sickler readies. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Norby. Inside for ball 1. And in speaking of that interview that I emailed with manager Ted Haas, again, gracious enough to do that with me. I appreciate that. That one's going to be ball 2. Even up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And, you know, he talked about, you know, the pitching staff that they have, and he said it was very strong in their win over Ogilvie. They had a great situation where they have a great situation where they have a very deep pitching staff, and they're very confident in their guys they have put out on the mound that they can hold teams down. Meanwhile, a ground out there for Bryce Norby, and that will be out number 3 here in the top of inning number 3. So 1 hit, no runs for the Blue Devils. No errors committed by the Knights, and we're forward to the bottom of inning number 3. Knights with a 4-0 lead, and we move forward at Brendan Field. Again, in speaking or emailing with manager Ted Haas, you know, I asked him what he thought of his team's performance last Friday against Ogilvie, and he said, you know, they pitched pretty well and they played solid defense. He said, quote, we did not hit the ball particularly well, but give their pitcher some credit for keeping our guys off balance, end quote. And yeah, that pitcher for them, I can go back and look at it if I remember, but he did a really good job of pitching in that game against the Knights. It was, let's see, is that it? It could be it. I think it was Sam Haybison pitched, and man, I think he only went 6 innings, but those 6 innings were very, very good innings for him. And of course, it was a lower scoring game, and I asked him, you know, what was the message to the team when the runs were tough to come by? He said, we talked about doing the little things to move the runners and also reemphasize that playoff games tend to be reliant on pitching well and playing great defense, in which they did there in that game, not allowing a run. And, I also asked him, waiting in between now that it's playoffs, waiting in between games for about a week, is that beneficial, or does that make it tougher for you? He said, I think we get used to having different amounts of time throughout the summer in between games, so he didn't really think it was an issue. And again, talking about manager Ted Haas, his and I conversation over email. Sadly, it wasn't able to happen over phone this week, which is really unfortunate. I appreciate what he's able to do. That one's in there for strike one. We're going to get a pitching change here only in the third inning. So Nathan Nelson's only going to go 2, and Bryce Norby is going to be their new pitcher. That one is swung on and hit towards third. Oh, the third baseman could not grab it cleanly. That's Nathan Nelson. So Nathan Nelson couldn't grab it cleanly, and it's a base hit for Corey Schmidt. And now Isaiah Haas comes to the plate. He hit a single, which eventually led to a Sean Osmus home run, 2-run home run. First pitch to him from Norby is ball 1. So 2 innings by Nathan Peterson. He gave up 4 hits, 4 runs. Isaiah Haas gets a piece of that one. He struck out 1, 2, 3 batters. Walked 1 and hit 1. That was the inning for Nathan Nelson. Leadoff man is on. A 1-1 count for Isaiah Haas at the plate. Here's the pitch from Norby. That's low. That's going to get away from the catcher, and Corey Schmidt will easily glide into second. He rounds second, looking for third, but the catcher there, Darren Erickson, is able to get there to prevent him from getting anything extra on the pass ball. So now runner at second with nobody out. Isaiah Haas, a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch from Norby. Haas gets a piece of it, a slow roller down the third base line. That does go foul. So that will make it an even 2-2 count for Isaiah Haas. Norby readies with the pitch. And here's the delivery. That's low. That's ball 3. Schmidt thought about going to third. Instead, he stays. And it's now a full count for Isaiah Haas. Good chunk of people here this evening for this Region 1C tournament playoff game between 2 rivals, the Hinckley Knights and the Mora Blue Devils. A full count here for Isaiah Haas. Norby with the pitch. Haas will strike out there, swing and a miss for out number 1. And obviously these two teams familiar with each other. And I asked manager Ted Haas, you'll play Mora tonight. And he said, that you're familiar with. He said, what are some of the advantages and disadvantages? He said, well, we both know what to expect from each other. So he said, I don't know that either team has an advantage in that respect. Appreciate him again for taking time to email me about this. A pop fly here from TJ Johnson on the infield, and it is going to be caught for out number 2 by the first baseman. So quick 2 down now, but now Sean Osmus comes back to the plate. Took a few pitches last time and then hit one over the left field wall. Let's see if we can't get that replay. We'll get the home run trot anyways. Norby with the first pitch here to Osmus. He gets a piece of it. A slow roller past the third baseman to the shortstop. He grabs it. Throw on to first is going to be in time for out number 3. Corey Schmidt, I thought, may have distracted either the third or shortstop, but they were able to do a good job of concentrating and getting that throw to first in time for out number 3. So 1 hit, no runs off that hit, and no errors by the Blue Devils. Keeps our score 4-0 in favor of the Hinckley Knights in this playoff game. Well, we're going to be headed towards the top of the 4th inning. But first, a word from our fine sponsors here on WCMP.
Hi, this is Sarah from Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Do you know about our propane customer referral program? It's simple and rewarding. Refer a qualified new Burnett Dairy propane customer and you'll receive a $100 credit to your account. Terms and conditions apply. Call 715-689-1032 for details and follow our Burnett Dairy General Store Facebook page. Share the warmth with Burnett Dairy, your trusted propane partner.
There's just nothing like being on the water, especially on a pontoon. Pine Toon Rental in Pine City has your next outing. Spend the day on the water, whether you want to fish or just float in style. With this 20-footer that holds up to 9 passengers, half-day rentals start as low as $200. Better yet, rent for a full 8 hours, starting at $300. But you've got to reserve your pontoon first. Visit pinetoonrental.com.
Getting set to lead off for the Mora Blue Devils here in the top of the 4th is Nathan Nelson. Flew out back in the 1st. That pitch to him is outside for ball 1 from Ben Sickler. Now the 1-0, that's going to stay outside for ball 2. I also talked to manager Ted Haas and asked him, was his team... Oh, that one stays high for ball 3, so 3-0 count now to Nathan Nelson. But I asked him if his team was able to watch some of the other teams and maybe scout, if you will, some of the other teams. Nathan Nelson jammed on that one, and Ben Sickler is able to grab it himself off the mound for out number 1. So that is out number 1. Ryan Van Summeren coming to the plate for the Blue Devils. But I asked him about, were they able to watch some other games, scout the other teams, and is it important to watch the other games? And he said, some of the guys did. He said he feels pretty familiar with what teams bring, but it's nice to see what guys are swinging at and what the lineups may look like. And he said any information you can get is always helpful during playoff time. Big swing and a miss by Ryan Van Summeren for strike 1. His first plate appearance was a backwards K as he went down looking at a pitch. And that was going to be inside for ball 1. Time call here by Van Summeren. He's going to take a step out of the batter's box, just compose himself for a moment, and then step back in. This one is swung on and hit out towards center field. And T.J. Johnson's on it, grabs it for out number 2. Again, that may seem like a routine catch in center field, which I think many other days and / nights it would be. But on an evening like this where the sun is out, there are no clouds to be seen. And the sun is right over the fielders. That is anything but a routine catch in today's kind of game. So that is out number 2. And now at the plate is Austin Peterson. He swings and misses at 1. That one outside for ball 1. This one is swung on and hit out of play by Peterson, and now it's a 1-2 count. 2 down, nobody on for the Blue Devils. I knew that was going to happen one time or another. That one's in there, but low for ball 2. 2-2 count, 2 down, nobody on for Austin Peterson. The Mora Blue Devils. The Hinckley Knights. That one's in there. That will get him for a backwards K again. Another strikeout for Ben Sickler. And that is out number 3. No hits, no runs for the Blue Devils. No errors by the Hinckley Knights. And we're going down. We're going down swinging to the... That was terrible. To the bottom of the 4th inning. If you don't get that reference, you can look it up. It's the, of course, now I'm not going to remember the band. Oh, my gosh. I'll get a Fall Out Boy. There we go. Fall Out Boy, Sugar, We're Going Down. You can look it up. It's a song of my generation, if you will. Not that any of you care what music is from my generation or not. We're here in playoff time. Region 1 seed tournament. The north side of it here at Hinckley. The south side of it there in Princeton. As we take a look at the region bracket once again. We took a look at the north side before. Let's take a look at the south side. Princeton tonight will play Chisago Lakes. Their game is now playing. Winner of that game will move to the semifinal. And then tomorrow it starts at noon in Princeton with St. Francis and Ramsey going at it. Then the 3 o'clock game, as you can see, will see East Bethel play the loser of Princeton and Chisago Lakes. Then the 6 o'clock game will see Elk River play the loser of Ramsey and St. Francis there in Princeton at 6 p.m. Then they'll have those games Sunday. Then on, it looks like Monday, is that correct? Yeah, Monday. We'll have another set of games, and then next week, it's all here in Hinckley. It will no longer be in Princeton. Every single game from there on out will be here in Hinckley. So now Bryce Hipp in the batter's box. Swings and misses on that one. And it's a 1-1 count. Bryce Norby readies, and here's the pitch. That's Hipp who gets a piece of that one. Throw on to first is in time for out number 1. A beautiful throw there by the shortstop in Derek Graves. So 1 down now, and Brady Johnson. He hit a single and eventually reached second base in his first at-bat. Swings and misses on that pitch. Here's the next one. Swing and a miss again by Johnson. 0-2. With 1 down. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Norby. Johnson swings and misses for out number 2. Quick 2 down now for the Knights, and that will bring to the plate Max Sickler. Max Sickler was hit by a pitch back in the second. Norby with the first pitch to him in there. Strike 1. Outer part of the plate. Here's the 0-1. That one is swung on, hit towards the third baseman. Nathan Nelson grabs it. Oh, and it's going to go well over the first baseman's head. That'll be an E5. That will allow Sickler to reach safely. So an error there on the Blue Devils. That's their first. And now coming to the plate, top of the order, Trevor Johnson. So runner at first, 2 down for Mora. Swing and a miss on that one. And Sickler's into second easily on the steal. Good looking steal there for Sickler, the Knights leader in steals. So we take a look at steals. He has 16, and now that his 17th steal on the season. Trevor Johnson gets a piece of it. A hopper to third. This time the throw to first is in time and on target for out number 3. So Nathan Nelson makes up for the error. Gets the runner out there. No runs, no hits by the Knights. An error by the Blue Devils. And now we're headed towards the top of the 5th inning. The Hinckley Knights lead here in this one 5-0 over the Mora Blue Devils. And we'll have that 5th inning of play for you. But first, a word from our fine sponsors here on WCMP.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Arrowhead Transit plays a pivotal role in bolstering the communities it serves. By providing accessible and reliable transportation, they ensure essential travel for work, education, and healthcare. Arrowhead Transit is customer-centric, continuously evolving to meet the needs of the community with initiatives like community outreach programs, job fairs, and educational workshops and more. Arrowhead Transit is more than just a transportation service. It is a vital part of the communities it supports. Your connection, your community. Arrowhead Transit. Your ride.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMPradio.com with live video. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman, bringing you all the action from this Region 1C tournament playoff game between the Hinckley Knights and the Prince Panthers. Good Lord. Hinckley Knights and the Mora Blue Devils. There we go. That's how it's said. These two teams going at it. And leading off for the Blue Devils is Derek Graves, the shortstop. Graves flew out back in the second inning. Is that one? Oh my goodness, Ben Sickler tries to barehand it, and then Isaiah Brennan at short tries to make it. I think it was slowed down a little bit by Sickler, and then Brennan just could not get a play on it. Infield single, there for Derek Graves. Maybe one that could have been an out. That might be one that the Knights go back and look at and say, that should have been it. Darren Erickson hit a lofty double back in the second inning. That beat TJ Johnson out in center. As he looks at that one, low for ball one. Sickler ready. Here's the pitch. This one swung on. Could be a double play. Oh, and Corey Schmidt! I don't know if that stuck in his hand, stuck in his glove, or just simply slipped from his hand. One way or another, what could have possibly been a double play turns into an error. It's an E4 that allows Darren Erickson safe. Another opportunity there for an out for the Knights, and that one goes by the wayside. And now coming to the plate is Mike McKee. As I mentioned before, this one, and that goes off the tip of the glove, and that's going to score a run. TJ Johnson, that one's going to go over the head of the catcher, which will allow the runners to advance. Oh my goodness. RBI single for Mike McKee, and then it turns into an extra base because the throw over the head of the catcher, Trevor Johnson, from TJ Johnson. Oh my goodness. Coming undone a little bit here for the Knights in this top of the fifth. A couple plays that really should have been made that weren't, and now it's 4-1. Dylan Graves to the plate now. Nobody out. Broken bat. That one is going to stay fair. Throw to first is in time for out number one. So they finally get an out there. A broken bat for Dylan Graves. That one almost stayed in a spot where he was safe, but Ben Sickler manages to pick it up for out number one. So now back to the top of the order. Logan Graves, as I mentioned, does not look great for the Knights here. They're trying to hold that runner at third, but they've already allowed a run to score via an error. A throwing error, that is. This pitch to Graves is in there for strike one. The Knights going to need some help. Going to have to help each other out. This one a high bouncer. And, oh my goodness, couldn't really tell who was trying to get that one. Corey Schmidt, it looked like he was trying, and then Isaiah Brennan was. And another opportunity missed on the infield RBI single from Logan Graves. And all of a sudden the defense having problems right now for the Knights. It's a 4-2 game, and this is why you never turn away early. As you get an inning like this where the defense just can't seem to gel for the Hinckley Knights, and all of a sudden the Blue Devils have cut the lead in half. This one's going to be hit, and that's going to lead to at least one. It will be an RBI single for Bryce Norby. Oh, boy. Now runners at first and second. Make it a 4-3 game. One down. Trouble for the Knights. That one in the dirt. Trevor Johnson holds it in front of him. Nathan Nelson at the plate now. And to be fair, you know, the first few hits were playable for outs. So the Knights going to be kicking themselves for those. This one's in their outside part of the plate for ball 2. So the Knights need to overcome this mess that they're in right now. This one's inside, call ball 3. 3-0 count for Nathan Nelson. Runner at first and second, only one down. A couple of errors, allowed a couple of runs to score, and fielding errors as well. That was in there for strike 1. And a play just recently that won't count as an error, but still should have been made a play. That one's in there for strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count for Nathan Nelson at the plate. Time call here by Nelson. He's going to take a breather, get a swing in. The Knights were rolling up to this point, only allowing, well, let's count them, 1, 2, 3 hits. Somebody's out. They have 2 runners at second. Somebody's out there. So Isaiah Haas does the smart thing, allows the runner to go to second, knowing, hey, if I take one of them's going to be out at second. And it's Norby, who will be the second out. So the Blue Devils hurt themselves there on the second out. Now Ted Haas is going to come out and have a conversation with the umpire. And I'm thinking he might want to say, hey, maybe they should both be out? Or the runner from second should be out. Not sure what he is talking for or asking about. That's probably proper English. Well, a quick conversation, and that is over. So they do get one of the runners out there at second. One of them. It winds up being Bryce Norby. Could have been Logan Graves, too, but it will wind up being Norby. So now Nathan Nelson, a full count with 2 down. That one's going to be ball 4 inside. We'll draw a walk. So now Ryan Van Summeren to the plate. 2 down, runners at first and second. 3 runs across the plate here for the Mora Blue Devils. A big top of the 5th inning for them. And they were helped by some errors from the Hinckley Knights. 2, in fact, in this inning alone. Sickler with the pitch to Van Summeren. That's outside, but still caught a piece of the plate for strike 1 for Ryan Van Summeren. Sickler readies. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swinging and a miss by Van Summeren for strike 2. And for the Blue Devils, they got to be feeling at least somewhat good. They've made Sickler throw a few more pitches here in this one than he has in the first 4 innings. But they've also got more hits on him and also extended some of these at-bats, so that is good. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout, a strong way to end the inning for Ben Sickler, but not without the Blue Devils doing some damage. They pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on and 3 runs. 2 errors committed there by the Knights in that inning alone. Well, the Knights will have to turn it on themselves. They lead 4-3, but they led 4-0 going into that inning. Probably be a conversation with the fielders saying, hey, there were some plays that were left out there that we need to make going forward. And now we're going to get another new pitcher here for the Mora Blue Devils. So in the bottom of the fifth, the Blue Devils, as I so mistakenly have called them the Mustangs, way too much. We'll see a new one. I believe that's number 8, and that would be Bryce Haw. So Bryce Haw will check in after Bryce Norby goes 2 innings. Allowed 1 hit and no runs. He got 2 strikeouts, no walks, and no hit by pitches. So Bryce Haw will be the new batter, and we'll take a look pitching-wise what that means, what that looks like. So Bryce Haw for them. He has pitched 16 and a third innings. He has allowed 12 hits. He has an ERA of 2.20 and has struck out 9. So a bottom of the fifth that the Knights would like to add some more runs on to their 1-run lead, but got to give credit to the Blue Devils. They attacked when they needed to and took advantage of some errors by the Knights in the top of the inning and cut it down to a 1-point deficit for themselves. Isaiah Brennan will lead it off for the Knights here in the bottom of the fifth. Again, it's Haw in for the Blue Devils. With the 1-0, that's outside, and that'll be ball 2. So early on, trying to pitch away from Brennan. That one's low, and that'll be ball 3. 3-0 count for Isaiah Brennan. Leadoff man here in the bottom of the fifth. Sun quickly setting on our game. 8 o'clock, man. Just doesn't seem fair. Seems like not that long ago we were talking about 9 and it looked like this. 3-0 pitch on the way. That's in there for strike 1. Meanwhile, that temp has cooled much since the peak of the day. 77 degrees now with a slight breeze out there, too, so feels fantastic. And that one, right back at the pitcher, Haw, with a quick glove, and he'll get him out. Bryce Haw with a nice glove there to snap that one off. Grab it for out number 1. Corey Schmidt now coming to the plate. Down for the Knights. Here's the pitch from Bryce Haw. That's inside, ball 1. 1-0 count for Schmidt. Here's the pitch from Haw. That's in there for strike 1. Not a spot really good to swing at for any batter that more than likely would jam any batter that tried to swing at that one. Unless you're really able to kick that leg up and pull it right. This one is swung on and popped out into foul territory over the right field line. It is out of play near the Knights party deck. I'll give you a look at where that is at. You see that green deck over there? That is the Knights party deck over there. A couple people out there. As I mentioned before, we've got a good crowd out here tonight for some Region 1C tournament playoff baseball. Is the eastern part of the Eastern Mini North is here. Some of the Eastern Mini South will be here. The Sandy Redbirds will play here tomorrow. Time call here by Corey Schmidt. He has a 1-2 count. And taking a look at, well, we won't get a moment to take a look at it as that a quick break for Schmidt. So when we get a chance, we will again. But a 1-2 pitch from Haw to Schmidt on the way. And Schmidt, that one will get by the third baseman. A good-looking hit there by Corey Schmidt. And that'll be a 1-out single. That was a beautiful hit by Corey Schmidt down the third base line. Nathan Nelson really had no chance to even catch up to it by the time it was coming at him. I mean, it's nothing he could do. It's not his fault. Just a good hit. Sometimes you're just out hit, and that was the case there. Speaking of hits, the Blue Devils have out-hit the Knights at this point, 7-6. But the Knights lead 4-3. Isaiah Haas at the plate. Watches that one go by outside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Haas. Got to piece that one out towards right center. That's going to get down, and that should be extra bases. It's going to get to the center fielder, and they will hold Schmidt at third. Haas will be in to second with a double. Isaiah Haas with a 1-out double. And now you've got runners, both of them in scoring position for T.J. Johnson. As Haas will come back and give his gloves to the first base coach. So a double there, and now the Knights in a great spot here to add some runs onto that lead. T.J. Johnson at the plate. Here's the pitch from Bryce Haw. T.J. Johnson gets a piece of it, fouls it out of play. Bryce Haw readies. Here's the 0-1. Johnson gets a piece of it. That is out towards center right center. Is it high enough for them to send the runner? It is. They thought about it. They were going to have a play at home, but a great throw from the right fielder to hold Schmidt at third. That is unfortunate. That is less than ideal for the Knights. They would have liked to have scored a run there, but unfortunately it will be a fly out. Now Sean Osmus at the plate. He's got another home run in him. That would be huge here in this spot. Homered back in the second inning. First pitch to him is swung on. This one's right to the second baseman. That'll be out number 3, avoiding an error. They do. Oh, a good inning there for Bryce Haw. Allowed the 2 hits, and they were in some trouble, but good inning there by the Blue Devils to get out of it as quickly as the Knights got back into it. So 2 hits and no runs for the Knights, no errors by the Blue Devils, and we're headed to inning number 6. I can't believe we're already at the 6th inning. My goodness gracious. But we are, nonetheless, and the Knights strand 2 there in scoring position, so that will be something that they look to improve upon as we go forward, because that is something they've done really well all year long. 6th inning of play when we come back after a word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to Town Ball Playoffs here on 106.5 FM AM 1350 WCMP.
Does radio advertising work? It just did. Make it work for you. Contact us at WCMPradio.com.
Whoa, they got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. Right now, the Pine City Holiday Station Store off 35 has got savings like lots of matzo pizza, buy one, get one free. Ben & Jerry's 2 for $12. Celsius, buy 2, get one free. Any size fountain pop, just 79 cents. Jack's Link Jerky, 2 for $10. And Johnsonville Brats and Dogs, ready to eat, 2 for $4. Open 24/7, 365. They got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
Leading off the 6th inning, the top of the 6th for the Mora Blue Devils will be Austin Peterson. Peterson comes in 0 for 2 so far tonight. Ben Sickler, that one is given to him, but it's out towards Max Sickler. Max Sickler makes the play for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Can't ask for much better. If you're the Knights, I guess you could. You could ask for the next 2 batters to go 1 pitch, 1 out as well. Derek Graves coming to the plate now. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Flew out back in the 2nd, then hit that single in the 5th, which he eventually scored on an error. First pitch to him is in there for strike 1. Part of a 4-hit inning for the Blue Devils and 3 runs. Ben Sickler with the pitch. In there, strike 2. 0-2 pitch on the way. High for ball one. Leadoff man for the top of the sixth for the Blue Devils was Peterson. He's out. Derek Graves in there. This one is possibly at trouble, but Max Sickler with the diving catch out there in left. He slides to make that one. And a beautiful catch there by Max Sickler in left again for out number 2. He's made the first 2 outs here, and he made that one look smooth. That is anything but easy out there, but he made it look easy. Darren Erickson has reached base twice tonight, scored once, but he's 1 for 2, reached on an error last time, and reached on a double back in the second. Got a piece of that one. Fouls it back. Here's the 0-1. Low from Sickler, and that'll be ball one. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one swung on out towards center. TJ Johnson, diving play, makes the catch in center for out number 3. What a catch by TJ Johnson out in center. Back to back, beautiful plays in the outfield on sliding/diving catches. No hits for the Blue Devils, no runs, and no errors for Hinckley. And that will make it a quick top of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th coming our way. Knights hold a slim lead over the Blue Devils, 4-3. Got out that 4-0 lead back in the second. Started off with a home run from Sean Osmus, a 2-run shot. And then they added 2 more runs. Via the 2-run double from Trevor Johnson. So I don't think I ever finished talking about that email interview I had with the Knights manager Ted Haas, and I asked him what is he expecting to see from Mora. Good pitching. He said they also do a good job of manufacturing runs, so he said it'll be important to limit their opportunities, which back in the 5th inning, I don't want to say they didn't do a good job, but the errors defensively, they just did not play their best. And I asked to see, what do you hope to see from your team? He said, well, I expect that we'll come out and be aggressive. We want to throw strikes, play good defense, try to have great at-bats, and be tough outs from the top to the bottom of lineup. Of course, defense just made some mistakes there in the 5th. Bryce Hipp will lead off for the Knights. I also asked him, it's warmer tonight. Obviously both teams have to deal with it, but what are some things that come with playing in the heat? He said it's easy to get loose. But he said it's also uncomfortable because a person will sweat a lot. He said it might be beneficial to bring an extra undershirt so that you can change that. A ground out here for Bryce Hipp. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Mora Blue Devils. Bryce Haw, the pitcher still. And now Brady Johnson comes to plate. 1 for 2 today. He also said it's going to be a fun weekend of baseball. There are going to be some very good games. They get closer to teams earning state tournament bids. And he said everyone's going to see the best this state has to offer, as yes, they will. That one's on the outside part of the plate for strike 1 to Brady Johnson. Bryce Haw with the pitch. And that's low for ball 1. 1-1 count for Johnson. Here's the pitch from Haw. That's outside, and that's easy for ball 2. 2-1 now for Brady Johnson. After the 1 pitch, 1 out from Bryce Hipp. This one inside, and Johnson steps out of the way, and it's a 3-ball, 1 strike count. Here's the 3-1. Johnson, that one's going to bounce over the pitcher. The shortstop coming to make the play. He has to double clutch, but the throw is there in time. for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, and now Max Sickler coming to the plate. Doesn't technically have a stat 0 for 0 because he was hit by a pitch back in the second, and then, so I guess 0 for 1. There we go. Reached on an error in the fourth, and then eventually stole second. This one's inside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Bryce Haw. That's in there for strike 1. One pitch on the way, and that's low. That'll be ball 2 to Max Sickler. Top of the order just behind him in Trevor Johnson. Here's the pitch from Haw. 2-1. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Max Sickler. 2 down, nobody on for the Knights. Here's the pitch. Sickler reached at that one, fouls it out of play. So that will run the count full for Max Sickler. And here's the pitch from Haw. That's in there. That'll get Sickler looking, and he knew it. 3 up, 3 down. No hits, no runs. No errors by the Blue Devils. And, yeah, we're headed forward. It's now the top of the 7th all of a sudden. My goodness gracious. This one moving quickly. Now, I don't mind, but I also don't mind watching games either. So, although it is nice to have a game move quickly, I also love watching games. So, I'm good with either. Really don't matter to me. 7th inning of play when we return after word from our fine sponsors on WCMP.
Sean here from Burnett Dairy Cooperative. We care about your comfort and safety. Regularly checking your propane gauge is critical, and when it reaches 30%, it's time to give us a call at 715-689-1032 to request a fill. Reliable service from your local cooperative. Burnett Dairy, your trusted propane partner.
Attention baseball fans! Are you ready to experience the thrill of St. Paul Saints baseball with our weekly live on-air giveaway? That's right! Every Friday is your chance to score big and win tickets to see the Saints live in action at beautiful CHS Field. Imagine the atmosphere, the crack of the bat, the smell of freshly popped popcorn, and the joy of being surrounded by fellow fans. Special thank you to our incredible sponsor, bringing in the heat with Hinckley Firehouse. Listen to WCMP every Friday morning for your chance to win tickets to the St. Paul Saints.
As we get set for the top of the 7th inning, leading off for them will be Mike McKee. McKee on the evening is 1 for 2. RBI single back in the 5th. It was a big inning for the Blue Devils, as the Knights had a big inning in the second with 4 runs. That's how we have our 4-3 lead for the Knights on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. First pitch here from Ben Sickler to McKee is strike 1. Again, Blue Devils had the second best record in the Eastern Mini League this year at 11-4. Panthers, Knights, and Isanti Redbirds all tied at the top at 12-3. Had a lot of good teams this year. My goodness, next one's ball 2. As we mentioned, the Blue Devils were second with 11-4 record. Then we had 4 teams tied for third. The Quamba Cubs, Ramsey Renegades, Chisago Lakes Bulldogs, and St. Francis Silverbacks all at 10-5 in league play. This one is going to be ball 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike to Mike McKee. He leads off for the Blue Devils. It's McKee, Dylan Graves, and then Logan Graves due up here for Mora. That's in there, strike 2. Full count for McKee. Pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off the first base line. Would have been a good hit, but that one just kept going foul. Tomorrow, if you're going to be around Pine City around the 3-4 o'clock hour, be sure to be out there because we'll be at the Pine City Parade broadcasting live. Joshua Miron, the morning show host of 100.9 FM, and myself will be out there rebroadcasting that one. That one's hit out to left center. That is going to get down past the stretched arms. And now TJ Johnson having a problem gathering it in out there in center. And it's a double for Mike McKee, and that's big. Again, it's only a 1-point difference between the two teams, and Dylan Graves now up to the plate, and you've got the top of the order after this. 1 for 2, is Dylan Graves on the evening. So the Knights need to get something going. 8 hits now for the Blue Devils up to this point. They've got 3 runs off of that. Sickler with the pitch. That's in there, strike 1 to Dylan Graves. Owen Zuka for them over at third. Switched in, or out rather, and in his place went Nathan Nelson after the third inning of play. 0-1 to Graves. This a bunt backwards into the backstop. That'll make the count 0-2 for Dylan Graves, so we won't be bunting here in this spot, as just trying to advance that runner to third and put him in a better scoring spot. He is in scoring position, but they want him closer, as they don't have anybody out. Now, just because you get a leadoff double does not mean that you will score. We've seen that with the Knights not too many innings ago, where they got a double from Isaiah Haas, and he had 2 runners on in scoring position, and they were not able to score him. So 1-2 count. This one's in just inside. Trevor Johnson can't believe it. He thought it was strike 3. Ump does not agree, and Trevor Johnson, looking to his pitcher, Ben Sickler, says, hey, you got this one here, right here. There's the 2-2. Got him swinging. And tagged him just to be sure. But that is strikeout and out number 1. So 1 down now for the Knights. But, again, we're back to the top of the order. It's Logan Graves to the plate. Logan Graves 1 for 3. RBI single in the 5th. And you want anything but any more RBIs for the Mora Blue Devils. This one is swung on, a hard hit, but that goes back and foul out of play. Creeping up on that 8:30 mark here this evening. Sun's setting, and man, you just know that means the summer's coming to an end. It sucks. I don't like it either. That one's, just off the plate inside for ball 1. Woo. Man, I thought that was another call strike, but just inside. This one swung on and fouled out of play off the third baseline for Logan Graves. 1-2 count for him now. But the end of summer also means the beginning of football, so I'm okay with it. I'm not happy about it, but I'm okay with it. Time call here by, well, maybe not. Maybe just stepped out in time before Sickler got off his pitch. 1-2 count. Now Sickler wants to have a word with his catcher, Trevor Johnson. But again, end of summer always means football is right on the horizon, and I'm okay with that. I don't like the fact that summer ends. Summer has to end for football, but I am okay with football starting up again. Man, do I miss it. College football, NFL, high school. Not only that, not only do I get to watch high school games, I get to go broadcast them. So it makes it double awesome for me. This one swung out to shallow center. Oh, and it's going to get down. A base hit for Logan Graves. That's just one where, and no one could catch up to it, right in between the shortstop and center fielder. And now you've got runners at the corners with 1 down, and we're going to have a mound visit here with Ben Sickler. May we see a pitching change? We'll have to wait and see. As now Bryce Norby, who 2 for 3 today, is up to the plate and getting into a spot where the Knights are really going to have to be careful of how they go about pitching at these next few guys, because, man, the ideal thing for the Knights would be to get out of here without allowing a run. But if you're the Blue Devils, this is your spot where you have to capitalize on this spot, because you've got a runner at third and first with only 1 out. you've got a chance not only to score that game-tying run, but to also take the lead. So the Blue Devils trying to capitalize with these next few at-bats if they're able to get the next few. Who knows? This could wind up being a double play ball. That one's in there on the outside part of the plate for strike one to Bryce Norby. I'm probably not going to give him anything clean to swing at. He has 2 for 3 with an RBI. And you guessed it, that was in the 5th. That one's low. Just low apparently for ball 1. But again, runners at the corners with 1 down. Top of the 7th. Norby takes a moment. Sickler will check that runner at first. That's always can be a dangerous idea, just because if that ball gets away from Osmus at all, or the throw is off the mark, I mean, the runner at third's scoring. And Moore is going to be aggressive in this situation because it would only be second out if they were even able to take him, so it doesn't really matter anyways. That ball is going to go foul. That is that would have been a perfect hit by Bryce Norby had that stayed fair. But it does go foul. The Knights maybe catch a break there, because that's scoring 1 at the very least. Depending on how far it gets, that might score Graves. Logan Graves has some speed to him. So 1-2 count now for Bryce Norby. Sickler looking for out number 2, and this. They'll get the runner out at first. And they hold that runner at third. So a beautiful, tough play by Sean Osmus. That was not easy by any stretch of the imagination. Sean Osmus held the runner at third, checked the runner at 2, thought about throwing, then got the underhand throw to Schmidt at first just in time for the second out. I mean, that was controlled chaos at its finest right there by Sean Osmus, and that is why he is one of the better veteran players on this team. This one swung on, and that could be trouble into foul territory. Osmus trying to make that final out. Just drops past his outstretched glove. He's trying to make play. The savvy vet out there, he wants to get out of this inning. He knows how important holding on to this lead is, as Nathan Nelson is at the plate now with an 0-1 count. Sean Osmus quite literally laying his body out there for the team. Here's the 0-1 from Sickler to Nelson. That's in there for strike 2, and now Ben Sickler has a plethora of ways he can go about getting this final strike. 2 down, 2 on, in scoring position. Here's the pitch from Sickler. That one grounded to Schmidt. Throw on to first. In time for out number 3, and the Hinckley Knights somehow, someway figure it out and find themselves out of the jam. Wow. And you want to talk about stepping up in a critical spot. That is just what the Knights did right there. Well, we're at the 7th inning stretch part of this game. For the 7th inning stretch, we'll take a 30-second break.
Classic Restoration and Construction, right here in Ogilvie, is your local choice for roofing, siding, windows, or carpentry. New roofing from GAF, Owens Corning, or Certainty. Many siding options like vinyl, LP, steel, or aluminum. Put Classic Restoration and Construction's experience to work for you. No job is too big and no job is too small. Find Classic Restoration and Construction on Facebook. Quality construction done with class. Classic Restoration and Construction.
Back here on WCMP, 106.5 FM, AM 1350. I'm Game Day Gilman, bringing you all the action from tonight's game. We're in a close one. The Knights do lead over the Mora Blue Devils 4-3, but the Blue Devils have been knocking on the door the last couple innings. Just in the top of the 7th, they had a chance to not only take the lead, or tie, but take the lead. That's how that's supposed to work. They did get 2 hits, no runs off those 2 hits, surprisingly, and no errors committed by the Knights of Hinckley. It'll be their turn at the plate, and it will be the 1-2-3 batters. Trevor Johnson, Isaiah Brennan, and Corey Schmidt will be the guys at the plate. And the Knights would gladly take some insurance runs here as they look to build on a lead. The Blue Devils, oh man, they have been, they were, 2 or 3 hits going into that 5th inning, and then all of a sudden they exploded. And that one is by Bryce Haw, misses everything. And if you're the Knights, you're kind of kind of mad that that one got by there, because you're wanting to see a pitch like that go by when you got runners on. This one by Trevor Johnson is swung right at the second baseman, and he grabs it and throws it on to first for out number 1. So now Isaiah Brennan comes to the plate. He's 0 for 3 so far tonight. Struck out in the first 2 innings and then grounded out in the 5th. Bryce Haw readies, and here's the pitch in there for strike 1. The Knights really need to get something going. 2 out of the last 3 innings, they've only had, that one's ball. 2 out of the last 3 innings, they haven't had a hit. They've only had 3 hits in the last, 4 innings now? So 3 hits in the last 4 innings. They need to get something going here in this one. That's strike 2 to Isaiah Brennan. 1-2 count. And the Knights, again, they have plenty of times this year had some 2-out magic, but they need to get something going right here. Brennan will call time. And he steps back into the batter's box. Haw with the 1-2 pitch on the way. Outside, and that's ball 2. Even ups the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Haw. Brennan gets a piece of it, fouls it off out of play. Over the Knights dugout, and that goes into the parking lot. And he'll set up once again a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch from Haw. And Brennan gets a piece of that one once again, and that's going to go foul out of play. Hits a garbage can out there. Almost got it in the top of the garbage can that has a hole in it. That would have been cool to see. Well, we're doing it again, a battle here at the plate. Brennan with the 2-2 count. Here's the pitch from Haw. That's outside, and that will run the count full. Isaiah Brennan battling at the plate here. He has a full count with 1 down, bottom of the 7th. And that is just outside for ball 4. Woo, what a good plate appearance there by Isaiah Brennan. That is not easy. You see, he watched it all the way. He wanted to, but he held off, and that's ball 4. Now Corey Schmidt comes to the plate. His last 2 plate appearances have been base hits, and a base hit, man, with Isaiah Brennan out there, that could go a ways. He's 2 for 3 on the night is Corey Schmidt. That one's in there for strike 1 to Schmidt. Didn't want that one, didn't like that one. He looks to his third base coach and manager, Ted Haas, shakes his head. Maybe he wanted to swing, it just wasn't the right one, and that's okay. Haw with the pitch. That's in there for strike 2, and Brennan will steal second. So now for Corey Schmidt, it'll be an 0-2 count, and obviously he'll have to protect the plate here. They need to get some insurance runs going for him. Although right now they'd just be extending lead. It wouldn't be so much insurance because the Blue Devils have been hot on their tail. So they need to extend this lead. And Schmidt, their RBI leader, 39 on the season. Got a piece of it, but that might not do it. Ground out to the shortstop for out number 2. And now that will bring to the plate Isaiah Haas. He's 2 for 3 as well. A single and then a double back in the 5th. A double. That would definitely score Brennan from second. And then you give a chance to TJ Johnson, who has been put in good positions, just hasn't been able to get that ball in play yet. So 2 down, runner at second. Haw with the pitch to Haas. That's in there outside part of the plate for strike 1. Haw pauses, readies, and here's the pitch. Inside. Ooh, but called strike 2. And Haas doesn't like the call. I don't think many people do with that one. 0-2. Now he's got to protect here. Here's the pitch from Haas. That's high. That'll be ball 1. Haas readies, shakes off the first signal. Gets one he likes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Haas, he'll get a piece of that one and fouls it out of play. Haas trying to keep himself alive here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at second, 2 down, trying to extend this lead that they hold on to by 1 run. Already, here's the pitch. It's in the dirt, and Brennan will not advance, as that is held on to pretty nicely by Darren Erickson. Blocked it, kept it in front of him, and really no chance for Brennan there. 2-2 count now for Isaiah Haas. And here's the pitch. That one is swung on out towards center. The center fielder got a good read on it. It is... No, it's dropped at the wall. A catch that was dropped back there in center. An RBI double for Isaiah Haas. And that's big. That will certainly help, because now they lead 5-3, and it may be only 1 run, but that 1 run that they add on to this lead could mean the world. Now, TJ Johnson, he's also in a spot again. He's been put in good positions here this game. Again, just hasn't quite yet been able to put one in play. Trying to there, late swing and a miss. That was the 1. TJ Johnson, he's 0 for 3 tonight, trying to change that here. And put in good positions. He just, and really not quite his fault, but has yet to put the ball in play. This one is going to be getting away from the catcher as it bounces in the dirt. That will allow Haas to reach third, and now for TJ Johnson, got a runner at third, 90 feet away. A 1-1 count for TJ Johnson. Here's the 1-1. Good eye from TJ Johnson. That one's outside for ball 2. Two 2-1 pitch from Haw. In there for strike 2. Yeah, that's just one where kind of hold off because that'd jam you in. More times than not, those pitches like that will be outs. 2-2 now for TJ Johnson. Haw readies. Price Haw with the pitch. TJ Johnson gets a piece of it. Is that going to get down? Yes, it did. So the right fielder dove for it. Looked like he had it, but it just dropped beside him. So it's an RBI single for TJ Johnson. So the Knights get another run, and now it's 6-3. That's big. And Sean Osmus at the plate looking to add on. Remember, a 2-run homer back in the second. That one's low for ball 1. One 0 pitch to Haw. From Haw to Sean Osmus is inside for ball number 2. Two O's in the dirt, gets by the catcher, and TJ Johnson will jog down to second. So now a runner at second again, and they're going to just walk him. They're going to, I think, intentionally walk Sean Osmus there. So you got runners at first and second, 2 down, and Bryce Hipp will be the next at bat. And we'll get a mound visit here for Bryce Haw. Looks like his night will be over. It will be. So Bryce Haw's night is over. He goes 2 2/3 innings. He allowed the 2 runs. He again came in the 5th. Allowed, let's see, 4 hits for him. Allowed 4 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 1. And no hit by pitch. But now looks like we will have number 15, Austin Peterson, as the new pitcher for the Mora Blue Devils. This will be their 3rd pitcher of the evening. So Peterson will come in here in the bottom of the 7th, 2 down for the Hinckley Knights, but they've added 2 more runs onto their lead and make it a 6-3 difference. So Austin Peterson will be the new pitcher for the Mora Blue Devils. And again, it's Bryce Hipp who will be up next to bat again. If you're in the Pine City area tomorrow, be sure to stop on by the Pine County Fair Parade. We'll be there from 4 until whenever the parade is done, as Joshua Miron, the morning show host on 100.9 FM, and then myself will be there broadcasting, talking about the floats, talking about some of the sponsors, talking about some of the people, and I think sometimes we even have a guest. I don't remember. Be sure to stop on by, get some candy for the kids. Also, speaking of stopping on by, be sure to stop and check out the WCMP Deals page. We have plenty of things, whether you want to get your nails done, want to get some rentals, dog grooming, plenty of restaurants, haircuts, anything you can think, oil changes, anything you can think of we have on there. Just go to WCMPradio.com, go to the deals page, or you can go to WCMPradio.com/deals, and that will take you there as well. If you don't see what you want, be sure to check in the next day. We replenish those savings pretty often. Also, don't forget, every Friday morning, during the morning shows on 100.9 with Josh Miron and KBK 95.5 with Rock and Robin Riley, it's your chance, but only during the Friday morning shows, for your chance to win a pair of Saints tickets. You'll be given a keyword to text in, and then you'll be entered for your chance to win a pair of Saints tickets throughout the regular season to their home game. Austin Peterson now in the game. First pitch to Bryce Hipp is high for ball 1. We do have a pinch runner there at first for Sean Osmus. I can't quite tell who it is. Out and outside. Klein, maybe? Is that Cody Klein? We'll keep an eye on him. Can't see the number. I think it might be Cody Klein. 2-0 count for Bryce Hipp. Or is that first and second? 2 down. That's in there for strike 1. Still can't quite see the number. He hasn't turned far enough for me to see it yet. Well, no matter what, we'll let you know who's there, whether this is a out or a run, whatever happens, we'll let you know. 2-1 pitch on the way from Peterson. Hipp gets a piece of it, fouls it back, and that evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runners at first and second. I think I seen 31, which would be Cody Klein. Austin Peterson. With the, we're going to get a time call here by Bryce Hipp. 2-2 pitch. That's high, and that'll be ball 3. So that will run the count full. It is Cody Klein, by the way, at first. I did just see the 31 on the back. So Cody Klein, pinch runner at first for Sean Osmus. Here's the full count pitch. That is low and outside for ball 4. So Bryce Hipp draws a walk. That will load the bases for Brady Johnson. And he is 1 for 3 tonight. And he would love his second hit right here. Got a single and scored back in the second. Hasn't had as much luck here in his last 2 at-bats, but looking to change that here. First pitch to him is low from Austin Peterson for ball 1. That one stays high for ball 2. 2-0 count now for Brady Johnson. That's in there, outside part of the plate for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Brady Johnson. Austin Peterson with the pitch. Inside, and that'll be ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. You got TJ Johnson at third. The pinch runner for Sean Osmus, Cody Klein at second, and Bryce Hipp at first. 2 down. 3-1 pitch on the way. And that is ball 4. Brady Johnson holds off on the swing attempt, and that will walk home a run. So that walks home a run. Everybody else moves up a base, and now Max Sickler comes to the plate. And, man, if there is somebody you want, it might be Max Sickler out there that you would want. And we're going to get yet another pitching change here for the Mora Blue Devils. That will end it for Austin Peterson. Technically doesn't even pitch at all. Came in with 2 outs here. Gave up 2 hits. No, excuse me. He did not give up a hit. Did not give up a run, but he walked 3. And now the next pitcher for them is going to be number 5, which is Logan Graves. Try and finish off the inning. It's 7 now to 3 after that. Run was able to get walked home via the drawn walk from Brady Johnson. He held off on his swing. He wanted to go around. You could see it, but he held off smartly so as it was outside for ball 3. And now Max Sickler is going to be at the plate again. Great spot for him here with 2 down. And a spot, if he puts one in play, I mean, in reality, you've got some good runners out there in Bryce Hipp, Cody Klein, and Brady Johnson. Might not be as fast as those guys, but the way he runs the bases is, I mean, he just runs it with such technicality and so smartly. And he, though I can't explain it because I don't have the words because I'm not that smart, but the way he runs the bases is just so smooth that it makes it look fast, or it makes him faster. There we go. Not look fast. It makes him faster. So you've got some pretty good speed out on the bases right now. And honestly, a base hit or a double from Max Sickler could score all 3, which would blow this thing wide open for the Knights. But getting ahead of ourselves, the Knights, or Blue Devils, still have a chance here to get out of the inning. A big inning nonetheless for the Knights as they led only by 1. They get 3 more here in this one after 2 RBIs, 1 from Isaiah Haas and the next from TJ Johnson. Logan Graves readies, and here's the first pitch to Max Sickler. That's swung on, and that's, going to go foul down the first base line. Had that one stayed fair, that scores 2 for sure. Probably sends Sickler to second. He'll just look to straighten that one out a little bit. Just a tad late on that swing, but, man, I mean, if he is half second sooner, that is, I mean, that's a good hit. 0-1 pitch now from Graves. And they're going to get him. Got him by a long shot there at first. Brady Johnson is caught leaning far off the bag. And a nice play there by Darren Erickson to pick off the runner at first for out number 3. Well, that's unfortunate for the Knights, but they do get 2 hits to score 3 runs. And no errors by the Blue Devils. So the Knights, although it could have been better, and maybe I'm sure they're thinking should have been a little bit better with the bases loaded. But they do add 3 more runs onto their lead and now lead 7-3 as we head towards the top of the 8th inning. We'll be back after a word from our fine sponsors here on WCMP.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Leading off for the Blue Devils, Ryan Van Summeren. And the first pitch to him is ball 1 from Ben Sickler. That one is strike 1. So a 1-1 count for Van Summeren. And he gets hit by that one. So unfortunately, that is going to be a hit by pitch, and that will put a runner on first for the Blue Devils. Never want to see anybody hit by a pitch. But I think for the Blue Devils, you always hear the teammates yelling, hey, take it, take it. And I think they'll be happy that they got a runner on first. They won't be happy they got hit, but they're happy now that they have a runner on first with nobody out. That one swung on and hit a ways but out of play by Austin Peterson. This game far from over. These two teams well within their... So you get a pinch runner here. Sorry about that. I interrupt my Mike Schnabel. Will come into pinch run for Van Summeren. So that gets figured out. But no, the Blue Devils are within distance, within reach to get back into this game. And it starts just like that. You got a hit by pitch for the first runner on, and then you get a single there from Austin Peterson, his first hit of the game. And now you got runners at first and second, nobody out, and this might be the end for Ben Sickler. And it will be Derek Graves who will be next at the plate. We'll see if it's not. Yep, it will be. So Ben Sickler's night is over. He had a good night. He went 7 innings. 7 innings. He gets a ovation as he leaves. But he goes 7 innings, allows 10 hits and 3 runs to cross. And we'll count the totals here. Strikeout-wise, he got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 strikeouts. I thought he had more. It felt like he had more anyways. Definitely felt like he had more. walked one and only hit one. And now coming in, it will be Isaiah Brennan. So Isaiah Brennan will come in, hopefully to finish it off. So Brennan will come to the pitcher spot. And Schmidt will move to short. Get all these lineup changes for you. And looks like over at second will now be Jeff Lottie. Jeff Lottie will be over there at second. And that's all the changes. So again, Brennan moves from shortstop to pitcher. Schmidt moves from second to short. And Jeff Lottie comes in to play second. And we had a conversation earlier in the, well, not too much earlier in the season, but earlier in the season with Ted Haas about, you know, one of the players, Jeff Lottie, and he talked about him, how he's just a very good veteran presence, how he is very knowledgeable of the game, brings that knowledge to the game and to the younger guys, and when he's out there, he just makes smart plays, and he's smart at the plate. So this is the type of guy you want out there. But it's no outs and 2 on for the Blue Devils, and then we get to 3 guys who have reached, and Derek Graves, Darren Erickson, and Mike McKee, and they've each had some strong hits at that. When these guys have hit, man, it hasn't been just little loopers here and there. No, they've been hard hits. So you've got, you know, you usually say the heart of the order is 2, 3, 4. I think tonight for the Blue Devils, the heart of the order is, what, 6, 7, 8? I mean, it really feels like it, because between those, you know, the 6, 7, 8 batters, you've got 3 of their 4 runs that have scored, and they've all at least hit a single. For Derek Graves, he's 1 for 3 with a single, and he's scored. So runners at first and second, nobody out. Another little bit of a jam for the Knights to get out of. That one swung on and fouled back out of play by Graves. Brennan with the pitch. Swung on. This could be 2. Schmidt to second for 1. Lottie to first. It's going to go over, and the error will allow a run to score. Oh, man, that is less than ideal. So the pinch runner for Van Summeren will score. The runner at second is out, but the throw to first is an error, and that will lead to the runner being safe. And, of course, just as soon as I compliment Lottie, it's the old announcer's jinx. So I'll take blame for that one. That's not his fault. That's mine. It's the announcer's jinx. I'll take blame. 7-4 now. 1 down. And that pitch by Brennan is, I mean, it's smoking, but it's low for ball 1 to Darren Erickson. And even though it is an error, it nonetheless puts another runner on and allows a runner to score. So it is 7-4. The Knights will hope to get out of this inning without allowing anything more. And woo, a very late swing and miss by Erickson as Brennan just blew that one by him. And there was almost no chance on that one. 1-1 count now for Darren Erickson, but again, he's reached on a double plus an error. He has scored a run as well. Swing and a miss by Erickson, and man, Isaiah Brennan has him guessing out there. He is well behind those pitches. Time call here by Darren Erickson, trying to get Brennan off of his rhythm. I mean, Brennan, he had an error happen while he was on the mound, but I mean, he's gotten to a rhythm real quick. 1-2 pitch on the way. In there on the outside part of the plate for strike 3. Erickson does not like the call, as there will be a backwards K on him. So he does not like the call. That was close, I'll admit, but unfortunately, I am not a rules official. So even though I do have the ability for replay, I can't overturn or confirm anything. At the plate is Mike McKee. He's 2 for 3 tonight. It's an RBI single and a double. So again, the 6, 7, 8 batters seem to be the heart of the order tonight for the Blue Devils. 2 down, runner at first for the Blue Devils. A 1-1 count now for Mike McKee at the plate. It's been a fun one. Even though we're coming up on 9 o'clock, it just felt like a quick-moving game. I mean, it really hasn't had any lulls in it because there's been action the whole game. Brennan will check the runner at first, but Graves is back in time. Again, that's one where you feel comfortable. No, I guess not comfortable, but you feel okay with him throwing to first to try and pick him up because if it does go over, it only allows him to advance to second. You got no one at third. A check swing there, but McKee gets a piece of it into the netting here. He'll foul it back. Now a 1-2 count here in the top of the 8th. Knights lead 7-4 over the Blue Devils. Isaiah Brennan trying to help his team out of this inning. Brennan with the 1-2 pitch. Fires it by him, and McKee swings and misses for out number 3. So Brennan comes in, picks up 2 strikeouts, and helps his team out of it. 1 hit, 1 run. And an error by the Knights. Will be their 3rd of the evening via that error. But now it's the Knights' turn. And it will be Max Sickler. Now, Max Sickler was at the plate, but it was Brady Johnson who got picked off at first, leaning too far towards second. And the catcher, Erickson, threw him out. So it will still be Sickler at the plate here coming up for the bottom of the 8th. The Knights would still like to add on to this lead. Now this would be considered insurance runs here at this point because it'll be the top of the 9th after this inning is over. And the Knights would have a chance to finish it off. But the Knights will look for some insurance at it, as it will be the 9, 1, and 2 batters coming up. That is Max Sickler, Trevor Johnson, and Isaiah Brennan, who are due up here in the bottom of the 8th. You can see manager Ted Haas walking towards third base to be a third base coach. And on the mound, 1 and 2, Logan Graves came in and finished off the last inning. They had 3 different pitchers in the 7th. Started with Bryce Haw. He went 2/3 of that inning. Then came in Austin Peterson. He walked 3, and then Logan Graves came in to finish it off. Although it was his catcher who really finished it off. Erickson throwing it down to first to pick off Brady Johnson. It was a beautiful, beautiful pickoff move by Darren Erickson, the catcher. So again, Max Sickler to lead off the bottom of the 8th. Outside. Oh, but strike 1. No, that one looked a bit outside, maybe even off the plate, just from my angle, but that's my angle. Again, I don't have the greatest of angles either. I'm up above it. A little off to the side. 1-1 now after that pitch misses from Graves. Here's the 1-1. Max Sickler got a piece of that one. A loud crack of the bat, but that is up towards the center fielder, and he grabs it for out number 1. Maybe didn't have the cleanest of reads on it, but he tracked it down and washed it into his glove for out number 1. Now it's Trevor Johnson to the plate. 1 for 4 today. 1 for 3, walked in the first, so that does not count. So 1 for 3. A 2-run double back in the second. That's high for ball 1 to him. That's just on the outside part of the plate. Strike 1. Trevor Johnson, not too keen on that call. Isaiah Brennan due up behind him. That one's going to be Trevor Johnson. Yeah, same thing. He does not agree with that spot. That one might have been a little bit low. But it's a 1-2 count anyways for Trevor Johnson. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside part of the plate for strike 3. That'll get him looking. Trevor Johnson does not agree with that call whatsoever, but I mean, those just look like good pitches, if I got to say so, from Logan Graves. And man, that's a good first 2 outs there for Logan Graves. Now it's Isaiah Brennan. He's 0 for 3 today. Walked back last inning. First pitch to him is a ball 1. Knights would love to add on a few more runs here for insurance, as the Blue Devils are still not out of it. This one's outside as well. Ducks low at the last second. 2-0 count. Now, if Brennan can get on base, you got 2 RBI machines that are due up behind him. And that one is swung out and towards straightaway right. He's got it for out number 3. Well, less than ideal for the Knights. Not what you want to have, 1, 2, 3, because you didn't add any insurance, so that's not ideal. But you still lead 7-4 heading into the top of the 9th. No hits, no runs, no errors by the Blue Devils, and it will be the top of the 9th now. And the Knights will have an opportunity to finish it off and get themselves on to the next round. And we'll, while we got a moment, we'll take a look at that bracket, because we'll see who would play where, wins and loss-wise. So, taking a look at the region bracket, we'll go over and see the Hinckley side of things. If Hinckley were to win tonight, they would play again at A4. Oh, I'm way off. My goodness, they would play. They would play again on Sunday. So 8-4 is Sunday. I'm so confused. They play again on Sunday at noon against the winner of Isani and Kwamba. The loser of this game will play tomorrow against North Branch at 3 p.m. So the winner of this game will play on Sunday at noon against the winner of Kwamba and Isani. Loser will play tomorrow at 3 versus the North Branch Nighthawks. And then if Hinckley was able to win that game on Sunday, barring they win tonight, it's still not over, folks. Don't get me wrong. And then they won on Sunday, then they'd be in the semifinals. And then they'd 1 win away from claiming the state opportunity. But here we go. Top of the 9th. This game far from over. The Blue Devils will have their 9-1-2 batters due up. It'll be Dylan Graves, Logan Graves, and Bryce Norby. Bryce Norby has had a few hard hits in this one. Graves has reached a couple of times. Dylan Graves has reached once. So Hinckley still got some business to take care of here in the top of the 9th. This is not close to over, folks. And in fact, we'll have a pinch hitter. It won't be Dylan Graves. Instead, it will be Eric Ravo. Eric Ravo takes it for strike 1 from Isaiah Brennan. Again, Ravo in here to pinch hit for Dylan Graves. So Ravo will come in. Swings and misses on that one. Now 0-2. And Ravo on the year, 207 with 2 RBIs for his batting stats. Isaiah Brennan ahead 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fires that one in there, but it's just high for ball 1. Isaiah Brennan came in last inning, and man, he got in a rhythm right away. There was no time to get into a rhythm. It was rhythm as soon as he started. But now the last 2 pitches have been high and outside, so it's now 2-2 for Eric Ravo. Brennan comes back. Here's the 2-2, right back at him. That's just going to get over his head. Jeff Lottie has a play at first. The throw there is not, it's not there. It just goes off the top of Sean Osmus's glove. Throw may have been a little bit off the mark, but that is going to be an error. Oh, my goodness. Another spot where the Knights should have had an out. Winds up being a runner on, and now Logan Graves comes to the plate. That one, that one called outside. That one was close. Here's the 1-0, swing and a miss by Graves. And the Knights, unfortunately, here tonight have had a few of those plays where it should have probably been an out, but unfortunately they just couldn't make the play. And 4 errors speak to that. That's inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count for Logan Graves. So Eric Ravo would have been an easy out, but throw just off the mark leads to an error. And now a 2-1 count for the leadoff, the top of the order man, I should say, Logan Graves. That one swung on and fouled back out of play by Graves. And now the count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still an opportunity here for the Knights to get 2 outs if they were to induce a ground ball. But the Blue Devils, man, you can't count them out. They have been right there this whole game. That one swung on and just over the head of the pitcher. Lati tumbling to grab that one, holds on, tosses it to second for the first out. Won't be able to get the double play, Will Schmidt. They do get the first out. So Logan Graves is safe on a fielder's choice at first. But now 1 down, and coming to the plate, Bryce Norby. He has had a couple of strong hits here in this one. He's got 2 singles, but 1 was an RBI back in the 5th. He is 2 for 4. And this is not a guy you really want to see at this point. This one swung on, fouled out of play. Isaiah Brennan, though, if there's a young man that is not going to show any fear, it's him. I mean, this young man plays with no fear whatsoever on the mound. He's fun to watch. That one almost got him, and that one is going to get underneath the glove of the catcher, Trevor Johnson, and it will allow Graves to take second. So runner at second, 1 down. Bryce Norby with a 1-1 count. And Norby just got a piece of that one and fouls it back, and now a 1-2 count. Isaiah Brennan trying to help his team finish off this game, but the Blue Devils, they ain't going to go away quietly. Brennan with a 1-2 count, and here's the pitch. Trying to get him to swing outside. That pops out of Trevor Johnson's glove, and that will allow Graves into third. Oh, boy. Well, now, if you get any sort of hit, and I'm sure they're going to be aggressive, even if it's a ground ball, this runner from third probably going to score. They need something. So Brennan with the 2-2 pitch. And did not get him to go. He holds off. Bryce Norby with the check swing does not go, and now it's a full count. Trevor Johnson pleading with that umpire, saying, did he go? But no. That's in there. Oh, my goodness, they're going to say ball 4. Ooh, that is a tough one for Isaiah Brennan. So now Nathan Nelson coming to the plate. 0 for 3, walked back in the 5th. Runners at the corners, 1 down. That is a tough one for Isaiah Brennan. I thought that was in there, but I don't know if it was inside, high. I don't know. It looked good to me. Showing bunt. That one's popped up, and that one's going to go pop up foul. For the Knights, you'll hope for another one of those, but if you're the Blue Devils, man, you got the tying run at home. Blue Devils have that tying run at home right now in Nathan Nelson. Isaiah Brennan readies. Here's the pitch. That one fouled down the first base line. Late swing on that one by Nelson, and now 0-2. So 1 down, runners at the corners. Get a new ball in for Brennan. Top of the 9th. Knights lead on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard 7-4. Brennan readies. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High, and that's ball 1. That one's a dangerous one to throw there. You want to get him swinging, but if you miss high, and that gets by the glove of Trevor Johnson. That runner from third scores. It's not the end-all, but it's not ideal. 1-2 pitch on the way. Brennan, ooh, just off the plate for ball 2. Good spot for it, but just outside. 2-2 count even for Nathan Nelson. Time call. Nelson wants a moment. This is a big spot for the Blue Devils. They've got the tying run at home plate right now. Runners at the corners and only one down. They have out-hit the Knights by 1 hit tonight, but still. Oh my goodness, swing and a miss, and Nathan Nelson loses the bat in the process. It does not hit anybody, so that's good. He was swinging hard on that one. But that is out number 2 for the Blue Devils. Still runners at the corners, and now coming to the plate, Ryan Van Summeren. Van Summeren, he was hit by a pitch last inning. Other than that, he's 0 for 3. Now again, the tying run at the plate. Knights are 1 out away from advancing to Sunday. Here's the pitch from Brennan. Swing and a miss by Van Summeren. Late on that one, and Isaiah Brennan, he's not easily phased. He's looking to finish strong. 0-1 pitch on the way. Van Summeren lays off, and that's ball 1. Again, not over. 2 down, runners at the corners. Van Summeren, he has showed his ability. I'm sure he's got some pop to that swing. Blue Devils will look for it here, as Van Summeren is the tying run. 1-1. Ooh, that's not a good swing there from Van Summeren. That one was a little bit outside, but in a situation like this, you appreciate the aggressiveness, but at the same time, you also got to be careful. 1-2. This could be it. Here's the pitch from Brennan, and almost got him, but Van Summeren does a good job to hold off. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Van Summeren. 2 down. Runners at the corners. Blue Devils down to their final strike. Isaiah Brennan looks to finish it off. That's high. That will run the count full for Van Summeren. Some fans are on their feet. You got a good crowd out here tonight. Between these two teams, are very familiar with each other. Full count. Runners at the corners. 2 down. Van Summeren would be the tying run for the Blue Devils. Brennan, and we get a timeout first by Van Summeren, the batter. Rightfully so. He's trying to get Brennan off at all, trying to compose himself. Here we go, 3-2 count. Here's the pitch from Brennan. In there for strike 3, and that will do it. And Van Summeren thought he had a walk, but that one's in there. And Summeren does not agree whatsoever with the call. And some of the Mora coaches, players have some choice words that we won't repeat. Frustration, of course. And that's a tough way to end a game. But that will not be it for the Mora Blue Devils, no. That will not be it for them. As they will continue. They'll play tomorrow at 3 versus North Branch. Well, we're going to take a moment to compose ourselves, to get everything situated, and then we'll come back. We'll recap this game, let you know what's coming up for both of these teams. You're listening to Town Ball Playoffs here on WCMP.
WCMP Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15. He's going to high step into the end zone. Touchdown!
Slips one, slips a second, able to get away for Sluka. Back underneath, far side, and a goal to the lane, and just gets the roll. Wow.
Pine City, Mora, Hinckley, Finlayson, East Central, Bram, Rush City, Malacca, North Branch. Find out who's playing next at WCMPradio.com.
untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Visit Town & Country Insurance today at townandcountry-ins.com or stop in our offices in Finlayson, Hinckley, and Mora.
Interested in raising funds for your school or organization? Burnett Dairy Cooperative is now participating in cheese fundraisers. Raise funds by selling cheese to your friends and family and supporting our local farmers. Please call us at 715-689-2053 to find out more.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Classic Restoration and Construction, right here in Ogilvie, is your local choice for roofing, siding, windows, or carpentry. Need a repair on a garage or shed? No problem. A full roof replacement due to storm damage or a new window? Put Classic Restoration and Construction's experience to work for you. No job is too big and no job is too small. Find Classic Restoration and Construction on Facebook. Quality construction done with class. Classic Restoration and Construction.
At Walia Health, your eye health is our passion. With cutting-edge technology and a team dedicated to your well-being, we're here to ensure your eyesight shines bright. From diagnosing and treating conditions like cataracts and glaucoma to helping you find the perfect pair of glasses or contacts, we've got you covered. Schedule your appointment today at waliahealth.org or give us a call at 320-679-2020. Let's keep those eyes sparkling together.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. The Knights get the victory here over the Mora Blue Devils, 7-4. They had two pitchers. Ben Sickler, their starter, went 7 innings, allowed 10 hits, 3 runs, walked 1, hit 1, and struck out 5. Isaiah Brennan went 2 innings, didn't allow a hit, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, and 4 strikeouts. For a total of 9 strikeouts on the evening, but the Knights did have 4 errors here tonight, which is not ideal. And they were all in spots where they should have, could have, would have been outs and certainly turned things way differently, especially back when they had, 2 errors in the 5th. Those 2 errors did see and allow 3 runs from the Mora Blue Devils. So, unfortunately, that was less than ideal, but they still make the plays they needed to, and in the 7th they added 3 more runs to make it a 7-3 lead. Blue Devils added 1 more, but the Knights held on and get the victory here tonight, 7-4. And now they will wait and they will play on Sunday. As we take a look at that bracket, they will play against the winner of Quamba and Isani on Sunday here at noon. Mora now will play against North Branch tomorrow here in Hinckley at 3 p.m. So now Hinckley is yet another step closer to getting back to the state tournament. But again, they will play the winner of Quamba and Isani here on Sunday at noon. Quamba and Isani will play tomorrow here at noon. They'll be the first game of tomorrow. The second game will be Mora versus North Branch at 3, and then the final game here tomorrow night will be Rum River taking on the loser of Isani and Quamba at 6 p.m. So that is the bracket and the way it looks, and that's how it will be coming up here this weekend. If Hinckley wins on Sunday, they'll be in the semifinal, 1 game away from the championship game, and 2 wins away, punching their ticket back to state. As a 7-4 win for them. And during that break, I was trying to look and see who would be our player of the game. Sean Osmus had the home run, which you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's pretty obvious who should be the player of the game. But then you had both T.J. Johnson and Isaiah Haas come up with 2 big RBIs in the 7th to add on to their lead, and those RBIs are what eventually gave them the game-winning run, because had it stayed 4-3, the Blue Devils added that run, it would have been 4-4 now. But with, Isaiah Haas adding his RBI double, and then Johnson adding his, that's how we get to add on those 3 extra runs that now give the Knights a 7-4 victory. And TJ Johnson would eventually be walked home for a run as well. So I don't want to say we have 3 players of the game, but you almost can't say you don't. So we'll do it like hockey. Here's how we'll do it. We'll do it like hockey. Our 3rd star will be... Ooh, man, this is even tough. I don't know. Well, let's go with this. Our 3rd star will be TJ Johnson, as he had an RBI double. He went 1 for 4 tonight. That's our 3rd star. So we're doing it like hockey, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you know hockey a lot or you know it a little, how they do the 3 stars is they pick the 3 top players from the game, 3rd star, 2nd star, and then the 1st star. 1st star is usually like the best or whatever if you want. But that's how we're going to do it. So our 3rd star is TJ Johnson, 1 for 4 with an RBI single. Then Isaiah Haas, he was 3 for 4 tonight with an RBI double. He had 2 doubles and scored 2 runs. And then our 1st star will be Sean Osmus, just because he did hit the home run, which eventually got the scoring started for Hinckley, and they would score 2 more runs there in that 2nd inning. So 3rd star of the evening is TJ Johnson. The 1st star is going to be Isaiah Haas, or 2nd star is Isaiah Haas, and then 1st star. I'm all discombobulated. 1st star is Sean Osmus. 2nd is Isaiah Haas, and 3rd is T.J. Johnson. Just because I can't pick a player of the game between those 3. They all did phenomenal here tonight. All had important hits and runs in the game. So those are our 3 stars. T.J. Johnson, the 3rd, Isaiah Haas, the 2nd, and Sean Osmus, the 1st star. So I want to thank you all for tuning in here tonight. Thanks so much. You give me a job to do. Appreciate that. If you're watching this on our YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube. That way, when we go live with a sporting event like here in Hinckley, calling games for the Knights, you will get notified. So be sure to hit that red subscribe button. Then anytime that we go live with a local sporting event, whether it's here in Hinckley for the Knights, whether it's a high school game, whatever it is, you will be notified. And then all you have to do is click the notification. It will take you right to the live video. Also, want to thank all of our fine sponsors. Of course, can't do without them. We appreciate all of our fine sponsors. Of course, remember to stay tuned to many different ways to stay up to date with local sports, town ball, high school sports, regional and national. That's on our morning shows over on KBK with Rockin' Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. Then over on 100.9 FM with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. That's when you can catch those. Also, stay tuned to our websites, WCMPradio.com, KBK.com, for recaps of games that we've been at, for interviews with coaches and players, for all those things, plus the broadcast schedule. That usually goes up on Monday afternoon, no later, unless, again, there are special circumstances where we don't get brackets in time, or the brackets come out a little bit later during the week, and then it's not up on Monday. But more times than not, the broadcast schedule will be up on Monday afternoon, and that is, of course, subject to change. Also, stay tuned to our social media pages, KBEK's and WCMP Radio's Facebook pages, plus our Twitter at WCMP Radio for all things local sports, game recaps, interviews again, coaches retiring, coaches being hired, LOI signing by student athletes, broken records, all these things. You can catch that at our social medias as well. The Knights get the victory here over the Mora Blue Devils 7-4. They will play the winner of Isani and Kwamba back here on Sunday at noon. The Mora Blue Devils will play tomorrow at 3 p.m. here in Hinckley against North Branch. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Remember, be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through. Your kindness could really make their day. 7-4 the final on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Have a great rest of your night and fantastic weekend.
Here's your